Hi, today on Insert Quarter Gaming we're bringing you something a little different. Not a normal video game footage, but we're bringing you a restoration video of a Super Nintendo. I just bought this Super Nintendo, and as you can see it's yellowed. So what we'll be doing is restoring the yellow to the gray. Now there are several videos on YouTube on how to do this, so we're going to be trying one way and showing you another reiteration of if it works, if it does not work. There are many YouTube videos that show different ways on how to do this, so we're going to try one way and let you know if it works or not. Now what you're going to need is you're going to need some rubbing alcohol, hydrogen peroxide. We got the 3%. Some videos call for higher, but like I said, we're just going to try these. We have our gloves, latex gloves. We have some OxyClean. This is just generic OxyClean that I picked up at the dollar store, just to keep things on the cheap side. If it works, great. Hey, this is even better and it's even cheaper than buying a $15 tub of OxyClean. I got 3 of these for $3. You're going to need a sponge. You're going to need these screwdrivers for the special Nintendo screws that they use. Going to need some plastic wrap, some cornstarch. We're going to use cooking tins. And we're also going to use some mason jars. Some people said about putting the system in these tins, putting mason jars on to hold them in the hydrogen peroxide. So we're going to try that. Now this way is the cheaper way. There's another way that uses xanthan gum and the stronger hydrogen peroxide that we said. But we're going to try to do the cheap one first and show you if it works. If not, then we'll go to the expensive one and show you if that works. Let's just say for the record real quick that this isn't an entirely necessary process. This is only if you prefer the system the color that it was and you want to bring the system looking back to this. It is kind of necessary, but not really. It's really your preference, because the reason why this is yellowed is because the bromine in the plastic, the ultraviolet light has radiated it, and so it's changing color. So like those teeth restoration strips or toothpaste that you brush your teeth with and it restores the enamel, it's the same process that we're going to be doing essentially. So this is entirely up to you if you would like to do this or not, but I have a feeling if you're watching this video, you're probably interested. Now one other disclaimer is that these stickers may come off, so don't be too attached, but it's not like you need the serial number anyway, because it's not like Nintendo supports the Super Nintendo anyway. So what we're going to do first is take out these screws here. Nice and tight in there. Now I've gone ahead and loosened these other screws. Now that we have these screws out, we can take the system apart. An interesting little factoid real quick. As we're taking this apart, not too many people show this attention, so we're going to tell you. These chips here, they're Nintendo chips, but they're made by Sony. So this is some of the appreciation that some people have for gaming history, because you know, this is where Sony started making some of the chips and some of the hardware for gaming systems. I apologize, guys. There's one more thing you're going to need, and it's a Phillips screwdriver. Because when you get to this part, all of these screws, you're no longer going to need your Nintendo screwdrivers. You're going to need a Phillips, because all of these screws are Phillips screwdrivers. So just remember when you're putting it all back, the Phillips on the inside, Nintendo on the outside. So we're going to take out this last screw. I went ahead and took out all these other ones. Make sure you don't lose your screws. It might be a good idea to put them to the side in like a bowl or a Ziploc bag, just to make sure you don't lose them. It's not a matter of mixing them up, because like I said, just remember Phillips on the inside, Nintendo on the outside. Should be fine. So now what we're going to do is take the system itself out. Be very careful at this point too, not to damage anything. You might be a good idea to shake any extra dust or anything, or as you saw, I almost lost a piece there. Just for safety measures, we're going to be taking out the power and reset buttons, as well as the game cart holder itself, the cartridge holder. So that's what we're doing right now. We're taking these screws out that hold this stuff in place. One more screw. If I haven't said this before, it's a good idea to dust your system out while it's open. Mine really, I bought it from somebody else, so it really didn't have that much in it. But yours, if you've had it for a long time, might have more dust in it, so it might be a good idea to clean it. So we're taking these out. Alright guys, next what we're going to do is we're going to clean the console with the rubbing alcohol. I'm doing this after we take the system apart, that way it's all taken apart already and you can just clean it and then put it right in, instead of cleaning it, then taking it apart, then putting it back in. You know, why get it dirty twice? Alright. Put some rubbing alcohol on here. Just get any spots or residue off of the console, because what we're going to be doing is taking the hydrogen peroxide, the OxyClean, and making a paste, and it's going to apply to the console to help restore it. Now we're going to add the hydrogen peroxide. You're going to need about 200 milliliters, so roughly about 1/4 of a bottle. And then you're going to want to take this and microwave it for 20 seconds. Now you're going to want to take your cornstarch and add 4 teaspoons. And after you add the 4 teaspoons, microwave it for another 20 seconds. What the cornstarch does is it will thicken this, to make it apply better.